I have the honor of chatting with a living legend. Yeah, I said it. Artist, rapper, songwriter, producer, manifestation king,
I
30 under 30 Forbes lister, business model maker, newly independent. Did I miss anything?
don't. Did you do best-selling author?
Oh, there you go. I did author though, but not best-selling. The one and the only Russ. How you feeling today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm feel so good. I'm so excited to have you here with us. Like, what an
Your
honor.
hair is incredible.
Oh, thank you. So is
Yeah,
yours, but you're
thank
covering
you.
it today.
Yeah, I got the bun going on.
I'm never gonna take it down now. I'm be like, oh, you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Russ, as an artist, let's just step into it. I feel like you wear so many different hats. Like you're like
Mhm.
multifaceted king. And one thing I feel like that collides with both of your worlds, with being an artist and also being a human, is the fact that you really bet on yourself. What
Yeah,
type of resilience do you need to have, or what is it called? The delusional self belief do you need to
hmm
have in order for you to really tap into that?
yeah. That's so key. It's so key, and I think a lot of people lose like before they start, just because they don't even think that they can do it, and they don't have that delusional, level of confidence. And the reason why I call it delusional is because before you go do what you're about to do, before you ended up doing what you're doing here, and before I ended up doing what I'm doing, we had to be the first ones to think we could do it.
Mm.
And it's delusional to think some of these thoughts. So, um, and along the way, you're just going to get met with so many uh, reasons to give up, you know, but it just depends on how you frame them. Like, they could either be reasons to give up or reasons to keep going. So, depending on your uh, mental makeup, you
Mm.
know, it'll kind of determine whether you decide to persevere. If you're like, nah, you know what, that's enough, I'm okay on this. And I think a lot of people just, it's easier to give up, you know. But
I agree.
yeah.
Talk to me about those three major things: being delusional, being
Mhm.
persistent, and also gratitude. Where did that collide for you?
Yeah, so the delusion is like step one, because you're like, all right, I'm about to be a massive artist and producer and da 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 da, and it's like, yeah, okay. um the persistence is, when you're going and you're putting out a mixtape and it doesn't do anything, a song doesn't do anything 11 times, and all these reasons to like be like, damn, it's not working. You gotta persevere. Based off of just the idea that you can be this thing that you see in your head.
Mm.
And then the gratitude is that when it all does start to happen, it's super, super easy. And I struggle with it every day. It's super easy to get jaded and kind of block your future blessings because you're not even counting the current ones, because you're so focused on what's next and what I haven't done yet, and how it's like the hedonistic treadmill thing where you know really great things happen, really bad things happen are down here, and you're like,
Mm.
you know uh your level of happiness, just like the homeostasis of happiness, is right here. And when something really good happens, you have a spike, and then it goes back to your regular shit. Something really bad happens, it spikes downwards and it goes back to your regular shit. And so it's a problem because you end up uh, on this treadmill, and nothing, you don't know why you're running, and like why nothing can really even last that long. A bad moment doesn't affect you that long, but a good moment doesn't even affect you that long. And the trick
Mm.
is to know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? The trick is to actually have a definite aim, because when you have a definite aim, you can be like, oh, you know what? I always said I wanted a platinum debut album. I have a platinum debut album. So I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm no longer on the treadmill chasing after just nothing. So gratitude is just how you stay motivated and stay inspired, because when you really like, when I tap back into how bad I wanted what I currently have, it's like, oh, what? I'm about to go so hard, because it's like, wait a second. You're telling me I actually was able to make this shit happen? So now I'm like, wait a second. If this is now my starting point, right? Like, this, you're telling me this is the starting line now? Because the starting line used to be no followers, no fans, no nothing. And I got here. So you're telling
Wow.
me now this is the new starting line? Oh yeah. But it's
Do you?
hard to get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel like you struggle with being, or having that type of level of gratitude because
Yeah.
then maybe you feel like you can get complacent, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so tricky like that. it's a fine line between like gratitude and complacency, and just being content and being complacent. So I don't try to stay there for too long. You know, I try to just use it just enough to check back in, and then I'm like, all right, you know. But it's, yeah, it's tricky because ambition sometimes fucks up your gratitude too. Like, you wanting
Mhm.
so much, you forget how bad you wanted what you currently have. So it's just all like mental warfare constantly. You know
I
what I'm
could only
saying?
imagine because I feel like
Yeah,
sometimes I deal with that myself. And as well as, you're talking about ambition. And I feel like that has helped you stay faithful to your dreams in a way,
yeah,
But how do you feel, or how do you stay faithful to your dreams, or how did you do it when you were in the basement
yeah,
and you were literally, it wasn't coinciding your dreams with the financial gain at that point, or
yeah.
with the streams, or with literally the recognition? How did you do it?
Competitiveness, you know, competitiveness with like myself. And I just didn't want to lose. I didn't want to give up and then everyone else be right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was competitive to the point where it's like, you know what? Even if I wasn't quote unquote meant to do this based off of sheer God given talents and skills, because there's so many people that when, you know, their 20th song they ever make is sounds incredible and they're 19 and then I was never like that. You feel me? I just had to bust my ass. But it's like what what I lacked in talent and skill, I made up for in just sheer will and competitiveness and just drive. Because I was like, I refuse to like not make this idea come true. I refuse to be wrong to myself, and I refuse to prove these people right. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I was like, nah, I'll be fucking damned if I don't make this happen.
Talk to me about that pivotal moment that you had. Like, let's say in your career where the outside world can say, all right, well, this is a failure, but you felt like, you know what, this is a stepping stone for me. Especially since you literally recorded, what is it, for like 2.5 years, a song every
Yeah,
day?
yeah. A pivotal moment, I was like a failure. Well, to be honest, every project I put out um, before the debut album could have been looked at as a failure from the outside looking in, because it's like, you didn't blow up, back to the drawing board, you know. But for me, they were all just like learning lessons and kind of seeing what music did resonate, if any, and figuring out the approach. Without me putting out 11 projects, I would have never stumbled on the approach of doing a song a week, which is inevitably what blew me up. But I wouldn't have been able to wake up randomly in 2011, you know, right when I'm about to start putting out music for the first time, and be like, oh, I know exactly how to do this, it's a song a week. I had to go through my process, you know. So I had to fail all those times to really figure out the right way to do things. But that's why I don't look at them like failures. Those were stepping stones. I had to walk on each one of those to finally get to the, you know, the place where I'm like, all right, no, I actually know what to do now. So
You feel like you
yeah,
found your sound, like sonically, during that phase.
yeah, I definitely, that was a. I'm glad you said that, because I didn't even think about that really till now. But yeah, that was also a really big thing, because I was I was making so much music, I was just putting it out incorrectly. Um, but I was making so much music and I got to practice so much. I had like, you know, by the time I was doing a song a week on SoundCloud, I was, you know, I was still gonna get better and I still got better, but I had gotten it to a point where I had my sound. And so
Mm.
now that's why I think the SoundCloud shit was so effective, because it wasn't me putting out a song a week and you could hear he's trying to still figure it out. It
Mm.
was like every song was pretty solid. It was all like, oh shit, okay, this dude's just a maniac. How does he have this many songs and they all sound like quality? Because at that point, like you said, like we're talking about, I had found my sound. So now it was much more targeted shooting. It wasn't just like aimlessly firing off into the wind. It was like, nah, I really got this sound that I'm about to just shoot y'all with fucking over and over and over again.
I love that. And I love how you talk about growth. I feel like that's one of my favorite stories in hip hop is honestly yours because of the growth. So let's see, how do you feel like you've evolved from records like Losing Control to now
Yeah,
your latest release, Ugly featuring Little Baby?
yeah. The evolution is really just to be honest, it's me just getting more comfortable with my voice, me just just paying more attention to what I really want to make and what really makes me happy. And honestly, um, I'm trying to I'm trying to just stay in that headspace where I make sure I'm not making music uh, while considering outside chatter, that I'm
Mm.
making it from a pure place. And that's what people don't understand. Like losing controls and what they want and all those songs, they came from a place when I did not have the ability to give a fuck what anyone was talking about because there was nobody talking.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when fans are like, um, man, I miss this old stuff or this old, I miss when it was like this. It's like fans need to understand that number one, first of all, it's a lot of times it's they miss their old life where they were at. But the other thing is like when you're making music and you know nobody fucking can hear it and nobody's listening and you don't have all this chatter in your head about how they feel about you, that it's from the most pure place ever. When you blow up and there's millions of people watching, you know the critiques and the chatter and the this and the that and the this and the pressures. Now you're taking care of a whole family and all these things. It's like sometimes it dilutes the purity of the music making process because it's not so innocent anymore.
What?
And
How
it's,
do you cancel that? How do you cancel the outside noise?
man, I've been fucking trying for every once in a while. I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why music is so therapeutic for me because it's my way of canceling the outside noise. But way easier to do that when there is no outside noise. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with the outside noise now, you know, it's one of those things that you got to just stay in the present moment and stay in the right now and realize that anything that's not happening right here right now is over there and isn't even real, you know, and you can't feed it. So a lot of it is just ego because the ego wants to be, you know, represented well, and the ego is the one that's getting attacked publicly, and the ego is like,
Yeah.
y'all don't get it, that, you know. But it's like, man, I try to just use my spirit as a lighthouse and try to just let that take me to where I need to go.
I feel like it's been reflected in your career, honestly. Your
Thank
spirit,
you.
like your inner being.
Thank
I
you.
hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm
you,
trying. I'm trying.
you're truly a calculated man, and you were super transparent in your tweet where you basically said like you didn't know how you were going to conquer radio. How did that moment feel when you literally became number one most added song with your new record
Yes.
on urban radio? Like, talk to me about that.
That was just like, wow, okay, I cracked the code.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, cool. I remember getting that when I was with the label, number one most added. If I even ever did, I don't know. Maybe it was like number two, but I was like, wow, I'm officially like really my own label. I cracked the code. There's nothing a label can hang over my head like, oh, well, you know, you're not getting radio play though, being independent. It's like, nah, like, there's nothing left to conquer now. You feel me? Like, I got radio
Yes.
play. I'm I'm still in Rap Caviar, just like every other artist who signed to a major label. Like I got, you know, magazine covers on the way coming out. It's like, man, like what? You feel me? What else is there to do that a label is doing? You know what I mean? So I feel
You
like I just cracked
literally
the code.
I feel like you did too. You literally cracked a business model. You're a walking business model, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, you talked about being or feeling like the underdog before. Do you
Yeah.
still feel like you're underappreciated sometimes?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I think I like having the chip on my shoulder though. I think it's a cool driving force for me, and it's a I don't need much to kind of get me riled up to be like, it's like the last dance shit with Michael Jordan where he was just like the littlest thing he would take personal and it would be enough for him to fucking score 40 on you. You know,
Wow.
so I kind of feel the same way where it's like, you know, I need like the littlest issue that isn't probably really offensive at all, but just to keep me going. But no, I mean I definitely still feel underappreciated though, just because I feel like I'm a one of one, you know, and I feel like authenticity and when it's one of one is going to be a really big, important, impactful thing. And I feel, and I know I'm not there yet, but I know it's coming because I know what I'm doing. You can't get from anywhere else. Like you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that um,
Yes.
this is the entertainment industry, so I know that there's some artists who are just here to entertain you, and I fuck with that, and because I like to be entertained too. You know what I'm saying? But I know when it comes down to like what I'm providing and the messages and just what I'm trying to contribute to society on a mental level, you can't get it from anyone else right now. And I just feel like at some point this shit is going through the fucking roof for real. So
Definitely, I love the confidence, and I could
thank
chat
you.
with you all day. But before we close out, I feel like we've met so many different versions of Russ. Which one would you say is your favorite,
Interesting. Like musically,
musically and as a being?
mm, musically, I gotta keep it real. Musically, should I say that? I don't know. Um, musically, I really love the completely drunk in the studio 21-year-old, 22-year-old.
He's
Cause
carefree.
that dude was like, that was losing control. You feel me? That was what they want. Like that dude just was faded in the studio and did not fucking know anything going on in the world, was like much younger than 21 mentally, you know what I'm saying? Or not even mentally, but like maturity, I guess, but it allowed it to be very childlike and innocent and just reckless, like pure creative energy, undiluted. That dude was fucking awesome, but not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Not sustainable. So um the me now musically is way more sustainable, and I'm more conscious now of what I'm putting out. So I like that. I like this version of myself in general the most, man, just because there's things in the way I think now that I can't believe. Like I look back at just old interviews, or just I look back at how I used to think 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how did I have friends? What is wrong? Like, what? How did anyone fuck with me?
I
But
feel
it's
like
like,
we're all like that.
yeah, I'm just like, bruh, like, what on earth was I doing? But no, I'm just like more aware now. I just feel like I'm more strategic with my energy. So
I love that. Well,
mm,
listen, Russ, I could chat with you all day, but tell me, where can people keep up with you, find your latest project, everything that you're doing?
yeah, just type in Russ on Google and don't scroll too far because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Thank you so much for your energy, your transparency, your love. Honestly, such a beautiful conversation.
You're
Thank you.
delightful. I love
Thank
talking
you.
with you. Yeah, you're
Thank
amazing.
you so much. Thank you. I
Yeah,
really appreciate that.
yeah, you're very warm. Some people are warm, some people are cold. It's like an energy, you know?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
dope.
definitely feel that. I know also, like, I was reading that your mom is into energy. So I'm like, oh, we're going to vibe.
Yeah, my mom is a she's a certified life coach, but also an energy healer, and she, you know, she'll run bars on you. If people who know in the energy space, like she'll run your bars and you know, do energy work, and very, you know, she talks with clients every other day, every day, and she's just incredible. Just kind of like having her as this spiritual backbone, you know, has
I
been
love it.
really, yeah, it's been like super. It's a blessing and a curse because of her. I'm so sensitive and such like an empath, but also it's a superpower in and of itself. So you know,
All right. Thank you so much,
yeah,
Russ. I'm definitely going to follow through with your projects and everything else you have
yeah.
going on.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thank you. You too.